Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Your gun doctor here. 3 big questions we're going to answer for you today. Because a lot of people are always like, what do you use for range? The damage mag with bullet velocity and range? Or do I use the recoil control mag? Is it worth it? Is the fire rate better than the damage? That's the wrong question though, because the right question you should be looking at, can you actually use the damage on range? Because often it's like, if you're not using the recoil control and accuracy mag, you will barely be able to control the recoil at all. So the bigger question should rather be, can we use the damage mag on range? Not if it's worth it, because most of the time the damage mags are worth it. Most of the time, not always. So we're going to be trying out 3 ARs today with the damage mags if they are builds that would work. And if not, how then a recoil control and accuracy build would actually look for you. And I think that is very important because sure, you might get a certain good amount of TTK with the plus damage mag, but if you're unable to control it or even beam it to any point that the average Jimothy, yes, I'm looking at you, Tim, Dave, Shaniqua, that you're not able to control the gun, what is the good of it? Often the damage mags are used for sniper support builds, SMG builds, but not for long range beaming builds. Let's see which one we can actually use for long range beaming builds. We're going to only talk ARs today because for the LMGs, there's already many builds out there, but I know a lot of you do have the ARs leveled. First gun we're looking at is the Volkssturmgewehr. Why that? Simple. Because the Volkssturmgewehr does have Perfectionist perk, which gives you bonus recoil control. With the damage mag together and the barrel, it should technically be able to have a good recoil. Also, by the way, if you're testing your recoil here, next to this by the tunnels, they do just provide you with these awesome walls, and generally here left and right too, where you can easily just test even the longest recoil. And this is also very important because a lot of YouTubers, they test on 10, 15 meters, and they're like, this works on range, but you're going to be shooting this on long range, so 10, 15 meters is not the vibe. Surprisingly, this does feel okay, but in the magnification scope, it feels quite a lot. So we have initial offset here, but all in all, with the damage mag, we're actually good off to go. Let's do a little testeroo with the sign to go on the same 40 meters again. Not terrible, but I think the magnification here is in our way. We're hitting relatively clustered, but the initial recoil is pulling it tiny witty bitty off. So main thought here would be hand stop is okay, but we're going to be trying out the Carver instead. Polymer is going to stay. The Krosnick is going to stay too. F8 stabilizer is also doing a good one, so I want that. But we're going to try with a 2.5 times scope instead, because it might just be better to have less magnification with this respective gun. Simply, sometimes with especially high visual recoil guns, lesser magnification is just better than more magnification. I mean, that is then not a gun for me to play because the lesser magnification makes me be unhappy about it. But let's see how we feel about this right now. This feels significantly different. I think biggest difference is that the sight kind of pulls off to the right. How does the recoil feel here right now? It does feel equivalent to what we had before. Let me actually put this into that wall here. Put it into this wall here. The shake is lesser, perceived lesser due to the lesser magnification. We start with the initial offset and it goes off good. So the cover foregrip does feel nice. I think there's one foregrip I would like to try out in comparison. I mean, this is me now beaming away. I can really hit the same shots on the spot, so that is good. But what I would really like to try out here is the strife angled, because it often makes the guns, like I would rather have less vertical recoil control, but more horizontal. Because the horizontal, you see, that's the spread we have, but the vertical is usually the easy one to control. I mean, for the vertical, you pull your mouse down, right? But for the horizontal, that's where it gets tricky. So making a gun often work with the bonus damage mag can develop into something rather tricky. I mean, with the Volkssturmgewehr, you would definitely plan to pair it together with an SMG, obviously, to then be able to zoom over the map. See, if the vertical is not squashed, but you're squashed in the horizontal, now we have a way more straight line, as you can see. And when you're trying to keep it on, like, you can keep it on very easy, right? But the recoil is just more on place. So sometimes less recoil control is more recoil control, surprisingly. Yeah, this one I can keep on very good. So now we're just testing the recoils, okay? Just to make them work, just to see how they do from a theoretical standpoint. We're going to do this for 3 guns, and then we'll also test them killing people. So this is the recoil showcase right now. Now we'll go over to the next gun, and then I'll show you all 3 builds, and then I'll show you how all 3 builds actually work killing people. So with the timestamps in the description below, you can jump to where you want to be. I mean, this one you can really keep easy on to get Krampus destroyed. I mean, it's always a good test because can you keep it on? Yes, you can keep it on. Just be aware that when you're shooting, your whole side just moves to the side. Standard Vanguard shenanigans. Let me kill myself. For the Volkssturmgewehr here, we get the 2.5 times optic, stabilizer, cross-nick, striped angled, the Russian short last, polymer grip, then the cross-nick for more recoil control and recovery, perfectionist, that was the selling argument, lengthened and fully loaded. The stabilizer could be the Mercury on the MX silencer too, but with the stabilizer, it just feels on point. Now off to the next gun. The next gun would be the CODBR Carbine, simply because the CODBR Carbine has the total perk of tight grip, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. You do have accuracy and recoil during sustained ADS, but sustained fire is what you're looking for, because that obviously then paired with more accuracy recoil during sustained fire, or then with the padded, also followed up by the polymer grip with, I'm going to probably start with the striped angled here this time. You do have the 22 barrel for more fire rate, but you also have the ragdoll barrel for more recoil control, and that's what we're looking for. Followed up with, we're going to go here for the stabilizer at first, and then the 30 round damage mag. You do have the 45 round damage mag, and you have the 30 round damage mag. I guess we'll go with the 45 round damage mag because one bullet plus lengthened as always. And we'll start here also with the 2.5 times scope to see how that one feels. The CODBR has good movement speed. ADS point is on point. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the 2.5 times. I do prefer my higher magnification scopes, but with all the damage mags, the visual recoil is quite significant. Let's do a 40 meter test again, because 40 meters is kind of what we're looking for. Interestingly enough, the CODBR kind of stays on point, huh? I did not control my recoil. I wish I did. So let me show you this, that you don't feel like I'm trying to kind of cheat you here. Right in the middle. That was without any recoil control attachments. You're here. So you're very good off, easy to beam. Now we know that the higher magnification scopes also have a slight better recoil control. Since the visual recoil seemed quite low, let's see how it would be if we now choose the 3.25 Slane, or if we would choose the night vision scope. How much less that actually is then, because right now we're at non-existent. Can we make it more non-existent? Ladies and gentlemen, 40 meters. You do notice obviously more shake again, but we're at the same spawn. We're not controlling our recoil, and the recoil is more clustered. So this was 45 meters with the 2.5 times. This is 45 meters with the night vision. I'm not sure which one you do like more. You know, I guess that comes down to personal preference. Both are easy to control. As you see, like the visual recoil here is non-existent. When you can just keep it on. You do have the left and right wibble wobble. But apart from that, it's really easy to keep on. I think I got 2 paid actors here that I can demonstrate the gun on. We're just walking past. Kenny. Very easy hit my shots. There should have been another paid actor down here. It's easy out here to beam some Jimothy's, right? Just getting them down. That was the Cooper Carbine now. Also does work on the long range. Now, again, we're not saying that it's 100% worth it, because I don't know if the TTK value is better than now using the low fire rate attachment. That is the job for True Game Data to figure out. I'm here to provide you the build, and Anthony is here to figure these things out.
Watch out! Enemy dropping into the air.
And he's just there to get dominated by me. Cooper was night vision, stabilizer, ragdoll, strife angled, carbine, polymer, Cooper 45. Also, if you crouch, even more recoil control, lengthened, tight grip, and fully loaded. Strife angled can go for the hand stop or the cover if you do like that more. The ragdoll could technically go for the Cooper custom, but that would steal a huge chunk of recoil control. And you've just seen that the recoil control was perfect like that. So I'm not sure if it would be better. I promised you 3 builds, and here's the 3rd build on the AS44. The biggest problem on the AS44 is it does not have any kind of recoil control jiggy-majiggies happening on the range. Therefore, it does have a burst barrel, and I figured out something rather amazing about the burst barrel. So again, to not make you think I'm controlling anything, now, I don't know how the damage is. We will have to try that out by shooting people. But this is fairly intriguing, right? Fairly intriguing. When you're going for burst damage with that. We're having on currently, and that's the cool thing about these guns. Very much individuality. The stabilizer could be also a suppressor. Pavlashkaya burst, obviously. These people will have to die in a second. Then the hand stop, followed up with the 40-round damage mag, stippled grip for the recoil recovery and initial firing recoil. Then also here, recoil recovery and initial firing recoil in the ZAC-12B custom. Gung-ho to shoot while you're sprinting. Technically not worth it. You could probably go for disable for the slowing, lengthened, and fully loaded. Now let's find these little jimmies because they have been shooting me, and we can't be having that. Okay. A sniper on the distance. Okay, that's not a problem. Can kill a sniper. Oh, yeah, he's shooting back. Can kill him too. I think there's probably 1 more 2 or 3 tweaks and twerks that could be done to make this perfect, but I'm very much enjoying this. Okay, let me murder myself, and we'll be trying 2 things. We'll change the hand stop for the strife angle, see if that does a little bit better. And I want to try out how it would be with the night vision sight just on the longer ranges. Okay, how do you look now? Well, is this even more centered, or does it just seem like that to me? Let's find out. Okay, it's going more together. Like if we would be looking for the, this is the most important part, the offset. 1, 2, 3. Really interesting how the gun behaves because it goes from left to right. So everything that squishes the horizontal should be wished for. That the burst actually goes vertical instead of that the burst would go horizontal. I mean, we're quite there. but the burst variation is quite significant, and that will obviously on distance make it then less reliable. The sight should be working as the 2.5 time does, but now it's obviously the question, how much can we okay, feels the same more or less, being able to just put it on the point. I guess that's how we're going to play the burst. Now, the CODBR Carbine, you've already seen in action. It has definitely been slaying, and it's really easy to beam away, especially with the absolute zero recoil it has. Might it be that the ragdoll can be put on with the CODBR custom put on? Yes, but it would definitely introduce more recoil, more visual shake and everything. So if you want to play with the higher fire rate, but still the mag, then definitely put that on. Plus, obviously, the 2.5 times because you don't want more magnification. But obviously, the ragdoll plus then the 2.5 times or the night vision 3.25 slain is the wave here. Feels extremely good and you can hit all your shots. Then now we still have to shoot a little bit with the Volkssturmgewehr, and you did see how the AS44 can be extreme fun. Definitely works as a burst gun and is super brilliant to use there. Definitely more on range than on close range, so that has been absolutely fine. And now let's drive in to test the Volkssturmgewehr also, if it does work the way we want it to.
Target sighted.
As much fun as the Volkssturmgewehr is, the CODBR Carbine has definitely felt better, and the Volkssturmgewehr, in my eyes, profits heavily from actually using the Sakura mag, because it turns it into some kind of M13. Whereas with this mag, I can hit my shots. Don't get me wrong. You know, we can get the person down. We can absolutely destroy someone. But
We will never speak of this.
that being said, due to the initial recoil pump and dump, it just feels better with the Sakura. And that's obviously again here like the main question. What is more feasible, having a damage beamer or having a no recoil beamer? Because what does more damage use you when the more damage shots are actually not hitting? And that's like the big questions that we wanted to answer. Because like with a no recoil beamer, I would hit my shots there easier, right? When I hit my shots, I get them down. That's not the question. But if I had the no recoil beamer version with the Sakura mag, so right now the best build obviously here being the CODBR Carbine. There is no question about that. It's absolutely brilliant. It just completely shreds away. Then followed up by what the AS44 does have to offer. And last but not least, the Volkssturmgewehr. But obviously the Volk then on range might be looking a little bit different. Let me present this to you actually, because I've been trying it out. Because it would kind of look like this when you're looking at the range version. Still with the Krosnik for shooting. And then you do have like the recoil control mag, in this case, cover, polymer, gung-ho, all these things. Could use this as sniper support, obviously, but could also consider then putting here the stabilizer on instead of the recoil booster to really have the no recoil beamer going on. It is a fantastic gun, and all these are actually doing very good. But yeah, kind of seem like where we have to look at when we're building guns here. So high recommendation definitely for the CODBR Carbine if you're looking for that. But you saw how fun the AS44 can be. And the cool thing is, if you level up the AS44, guys, you don't only get a burst rifle gun, you also have a sniper support gun, you have an SMG, you could play it as a full auto also on range. So there's 4 or 5 different builds that you can actually run with the AS44, especially because of the gung-ho. That really makes it absolutely fantastic. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this could help you a little bit when you're building your own guns, when you're trying to do your own loadouts. I'm not trying to just give you them. I'm trying to educate you here a little bit. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Tell me in the comments below which one of these you're going to be choosing, which one of these you're going to try out. And if you actually tried an AS44 burst rounds too, I wish you a fantastic good day. Take care and see you in the next video.